And as you take action, you're going to get results. And those results should be able to help other people. So you go out and give. And what are you going to be giving? You're going to be giving value. Selling is emotional. Selling is emotional. And if you don't know how to tap into people's emotions, then it's gonna be hard to sell.
And I think that once you understand the type of learner somebody is, you can really help that person out. But if you don't know what type of learner they are, you as a coach, teach, trainer, mentor, leader, entrepreneur, whatever label you want to put on it. Welcome to the Bottom Line Upfront with Terry Thompson, the show where we get to the bottom line up front of the most important issues facing life and business. And now, here's your host for this episode, Terry Thompson. If you want to achieve success, you must start a business in 2024. Look, there is so much opportunity out there within this world. It's crazy. But do you have the knowledge, skills, and experience in order to build, grow, and scale your business? I believe you do, and so does my guest here today. So we're going to dive right on into what it takes to build a business in 2024, because I guarantee you somebody out there right now needs what you have, and that is your knowledge, your skills, and your experience. And today we're going to dive into that. We have special guest, Zan the Man. Let's go, man. How you doing, brother?
Now I'm doing great. What a great introduction. That was amazing.
Thanks, man. You know, you are absolutely amazing yourself too. And I know that when we connected quite a few years, man, we've been connected for about what, 3-4 years now?
Um, about
Some
4 years now. Yeah.
That's that Southern math, man. That's that MAF, that math going on right there.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I love it. I
It's
love
like,
it.
hold on, 1 + 1 is 3. So yeah, we've
Hey,
been together for 3 years.
but the good thing about it, the math is mathing.
I know, right? Nothing like when math starts mathing, and
I love it.
I wanted to get
It's,
you to
add- it's,
smile.
it's adding up, man. I love it. It's adding up.
Look,
And
Zan,
it's making sense.
you are the confidence coach, and I love that, man. You give a lot of people confidence. And I also want to add, you're the only certified built to serve coach within the world, serving Evan Carmichael. And man, what a challenge, what a feat that is right there. And I think that's one of those things that really helps you stand out amongst the crowd, because there's so many businesses out there, so many, people doing the same market, the same niche, the same product, the same service, but you are unique. And that's what makes you Zan the Man. So let's dive into that right there.
Thank you
What
so much.
what actually sets you apart and makes you you? Like, give us a little bit of that process of like, this is Zan the Man.
Well, here it is. This is good. And I found a way to sum it up in one sentence. I'll give that to you in a minute. But first of all, being a certified confidence coach and the only built to serve coach, everything begins with confidence. Everything. Now, if I had to back up one step before that, it does begin with belief, because you have to believe. And I always give people the formula: A plus B equals C.
Mm.
But behind belief is action. So action plus belief equals C, confidence. Confidence is your belief in action. And you need confidence for anything and everything in life that you want to achieve and you want to succeed at. You need confidence in your relationships. You need confidence in your business. You need confidence in yourself, no matter what you do out here, because you're always going to be facing, every single day you wake up, there's 3 Ds that likes to destroy success. It's really 4, but I'll give you 3. I'll give you all 4. But they destroy success, and you're going to need confidence to overcome each and every one of them. The first D is doubt. You're going to need confidence to overcome your self-doubt. The second D is drama. The more confidence you have, the better you can handle the drama. But drama is always going to show up in your life. Mm-hmm. The third D, and this is a big one, distractions. Mm-hmm. But when you're confident about what you're going to achieve and what you believe that you can achieve, and when you're confident about your dreams and the vision that you have, you will start eliminating those distractions, because they're getting in the way of you achieving your dreams. And the fourth D, when you don't handle these 3 Ds properly, people kind of default to this, and it's sad, but it's true, is drugs. Mm-hmm. So confidence is actually saving your life. So my whole thing around confidence and confidence coaching has always been, I was doing that before I did coaching full time. And I was doing that when I was an entertainer, giving other entertainers confidence to get on stage, giving other entertainers confidence around their relationships. That has been a constant theme in my life. Man, I want to say way back in high school, because I did so well academically in high school that I was giving other students confidence on how they could pass tests and take quizzes and things such as that. And my teachers noticed it to the point where I would finish my tests so quickly or my quizzes so quickly in class, they would designate me to go around and help other students. So the confidence thing has always been there for me. As I've gotten older, I refine that confidence into frameworks, into strategies, into formulas, into fundamentals from the beginning to the end. And also, based on my research, I found out a lot of people don't really understand what confidence is. They have a misunderstanding of what confidence truly is. And so as I was coaching different people around confidence, the thing that kept coming up was, I want to start a business. I want to make money. But you're still gonna need confidence to start, build, and grow a business. And so I start teaching a lot of my clients the fundamentals of business. And I can't wait to get into that because they both go together.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have confidence. And if you start, and everyone knows, whether you're an entrepreneur or just a regular employee or entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
you still need confidence. You still have to perform. You still, even when you go to the next level, that's a new devil.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still going to have to deal with those D's that we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So confidence is always like the bedrock, and it's the foundation of everything that I do. And also it's my calling. And also it's challenging because you just think about this. A lot of people put off different things. Oh, I need to do this, or I'm not being, everything comes right back to confidence. If you're not being consistent, or you're not being disciplined, or you're not doing what you need to do, or you don't think you can, everything comes right back to confidence. Everything. Because that's one thing that we all have and we're all born with, and this is a deep conversation, it's fear.
Mm-hmm.
And confidence is the only thing that will help you manage and overcome fear.
I love that, man. There was a lot to unpack within
I
everything that
know.
you said right there. But look, here's the thing. I want to touch on one key point that you made, right? Well, there was several key points that you made there. But right here, the core foundation, a lot of people don't understand what the core foundation of business. Really, the core foundation of business is having a product or service that someone is willing to pay for, and then basically collecting that money and then delivering the product or service. That's it. That's business in a nutshell. That
Boom.
is the basis of business. I
Boom.
think that a lot of entrepreneurs out there try to overcomplicate it. I've got a 52-step funnel that can't be denied. That is fantastic. But you know what? You really just need to basically freaking like present your product or service, someone willing to pay for it, collect payment, and deliver. You don't need 52 steps to do all these things. But look, Zan, I know you
Let's
are the
simplify it.
master of that.
Let's simplify. Let's make it four. I'm gonna give
Okay.
you a four-step framework
Okay.
that covers business. Now let me just tap on what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, business, what Terry just said is just perfect. It really comes down. I'm gonna say it a different way,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
People, without people, you can't have a business. So we agree on that.
Yes.
People have problems. Every single day, people have problems. And your job is to solve problems. Now, let me add one more little thing to it. You got to solve problems for a profit. So it's not enough to solve their problem. If you want to run a lucrative, successful business, you must solve that problem for a profit. Now, in regards to how much profit, that's a whole nother story, because the bigger the problem that you solve, the bigger the profit you can make, because impact drives income. The bigger impact you make, the more income you make.
And
So,
I think there's a lot of people that play small with that. They don't know how to price things. They don't know how to sell themselves. They don't know how to position themselves.
oh, we got so
It,
much to talk about. Ooh, this is you're,
100
you're so good.
You
Go
hit
ahead. Go
this,
ahead.
man, where it's people connecting with people. And I think that's where they forget about it, because especially with AI, and I don't even want to dive down that rabbit hole. Oh my
Mm.
goodness, like that's a gigantic rabbit hole that, don't get me wrong, I get it. I use it. I'm not as enthusiastic as a lot of other people are, but it's one of those things that I think that we are missing The number one thing that people need out there right now is other people. It's that human connection that is needed now more than ever, and people will pay for that connection.
Yes, people make people and people break people. Without people, you're nobody. I mean, you can't even be here if two people didn't come together. You know what I'm saying?
Get it?
People, everything. And one of the things I teach, let me get to the 4 steps, I'm gonna come back around to that. But one of the things I teach, the simplified things. So I have a client come to me, and this is for beginners and sometimes intermediate. The people who are on advanced level already have this basic foundation. But I have a program that I teach called Monetize Your Passion. And so what that means basically is, what are you passionate about? What do you love? And how do we make money from what you love? And so another word for passion is LOVE, love. And that's the 4-step process, LOVE. L stands for leads. You must have leads for your business or you won't have a business. O stands for offer. V stands for value, and E stands for email. So in the digital online space, you must have those 4 steps in place. I'll say it one more time because it rhymes. In the digital online space, you must have those 4 things in place, and they all are equally valuable. But if I had to pick one out of them, it would be value. VALU. Value is everything. Your offer must be valuable. Your lead and your lead magnet must be valuable. Your emails, your email campaigns, where you're constantly emailing and consistently emailing your potential client, you must send value emails to them. And if, in fact, in life, you must lead with value. And value is the only thing that keeps relationships together and break them apart. It's the only thing that keeps businesses together and break them apart, because relationship is business and business is relationships. If value decreases, you will lose. That's why you must always give more value, the way we do right here on this podcast. Let's go.
You know, the interesting part about that is that value is not for you to decide. Value is for the other person to decide, the person that you're giving value, because the thing is that you could deliver something that could be considered undervaluable or not valuable all to the person. And that's where connecting with people and asking questions and really getting to know them, like them, trust them. And I know that's something that you and I previously talked about, is that know, like, and trust factor. And I think that when you know, like, and trust someone, and that works in 2 ways, 2-way communication right there, you can understand what their problems are, what their pain points are, what because you could deliver so much value and all of it missed the mark because none of it is what they needed.
Right. And also what we could do, and this is why it's so important to have those connections, like you just said, to know, like, and trust, and have that communication. Because if I know you very well, I can almost predict what your value is going to be the next time. For example, if you come to my store and you buy a toy, guess what I know what you're going to need next? Batteries. Because and that's one of the things, I'm going to share this, where I got this from. And this is so amazing. It was one of my big ahas. I do a book club every week now. And the book of the month is Alex Hormozy's $100 million leads. And in the book, he talks about this concept of problem solution, problem solution, problem solution. For every problem, there's a solution. And when you create a solution, you just created another problem. And then when you create that solution, when you fix that solution or give that solution, now you just create another problem. Meaning, for example, if I gave you a bag of nuts, oh my gosh, I want nuts, I'm hungry. And because the nuts is kind of salty or whatever, you eat them, but guess what you're gonna need next? Something to drink. So now first you have a problem, you hungry, you need some nuts. I gave you some nuts, okay? Now that problem is solved, but that solution just created another problem. Now you need something to drink. And so we as business people, we should always think about, how can I solve my client's problem with a solution in advance? Because every problem that you solve creates another problem. So you can kind of get ahead of the game if you know, like, and trust, and understand your client in advance. Because people always have problems. And guess what happens? Those problems create pain. And so your job is, how do I alleviate them of that pain, or how do I help them gain pleasure? But it's always there. And so we can, if with experience, with wisdom, with the right coaching and the right programs, we can almost get 2 or 3 steps ahead. Like, for example, if you are in one more quick example. If you are in the ninth grade, there's a curriculum around that. And they know what they know what you're going to need in the 10th grade. If you're in geometry, they know you're going to need algebra. And when you get to algebra 1, they know you're going to need algebra 2. So that's already created in advance way before you get to calculus. So it's a process, it's a step by step, and we know what you need in advance. And that's what makes a great business person, because we actually have the vision to solve your problem in advance and help you take steps. You crawl, you walk, you run, you fly. You start as a beginner, intermediate, advanced, and become an expert. So what you said is 100%, but the value proposition has always got to be there.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And I think that number one, I think that one of the things that a lot of people need to understand is buying and selling is not necessarily about the product that you deliver. It's about the feeling or the result that the other person gets at the end. And one of the things you and I talked about in the past was emotional intelligence. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love emotional intelligence, because buying and selling is emotional. And if you can dig down deep into the emotions of why someone is going to choose you or buy your product, they will choose you each and every single time if you can give them an emotional some emotion behind it, and they will buy that, because people buy things passively all the time. But I think that when you can tie the knot between emotional and intentional, that's where you can really increase your leads, your sales, your opportunities, and your business.
100%. And selling is emotional. Selling is emotional. And if you don't know how to tap into people's emotions, then it's gonna be hard to sell. But to me, I know some people have different beliefs around selling, and so I like to take the word selling out of the equation, but that is what we're doing. Because every single day, make no mistake about it, you're selling. If you convince your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband or your kids do X, Y, Z, you are selling, meaning you are influencing their behavior or their thinking or persuading their feelings. Your selling is persuasion. Selling is influencing others and to get them to see things your way for their benefit. But sometimes, if it's only for your benefit and not their benefit, then that's what people don't like selling, because they feel like they're being taken. They feel like they're being manipulated, if you will.
It's transactional versus transformational. I think if you can focus on transformational versus transactional, 100% you will grow your business.
Exactly. And we're over here to make sure you get value. And so for me, selling means serving. And I'm just trying to do what's best. I'm trying to share with you, serve you what's in your best interest. That's going to help create what Terry just said, that transformation. And in the very beginning of the podcast, you asked me about me summing things up. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've come to the summation of what I do in one sentence, and it's based on all the feedback I've gotten from my clients. And I always give this equation or this formula that information plus implementation equals transformation. So as a coach, my ultimate goal is to help create transformation, where the caterpillar becomes a butterfly and can never, once you spread their wings, you can never go back to being a caterpillar again. So in that process of information plus implementation equals transformation, what I focus on and what I specialize in, my specialization is implementation. Because once I get you to implement, transformation is going to take care of itself. It's cause and effect. So there's a lot of information out here. We're going to give you great information, but the most important thing is the implementation of that information, and that causes the transformation. So my focus is, how do I get you to take action? How do I get you to apply? How do I get you to implement? And because that's what's going to change your life.
Yeah. It reminds me that a lot of people know what to do, but oftentimes don't do what they know.
Yep.
And that's the reason why you're not achieving results. I hear people all the time, and I even have, students that say certain things as well too. And it's one of those things to where, well, I can do that. Well, if you can, then go do it. Don't blow all that hot air out there saying, well, I can do that. Well, great. Go show it. Go take action. Go get a result. Go fail quickly if you want to. I mean, I'm just saying, just go do it. Just whatever it is that you do, go do. And I know that you have this great framework, and I think we talked about this before, where for me it was be, no, do, and you
Oh
had
yeah,
something
yeah.
else as well too. So talk about that a little bit.
Oh, that's amazing. I let me see how far deep should I go with this, where it originated from. I just tell you the end result of it. But it came through my I meditate every single morning, and that's why I get the majority of my ahas, insights, ideas, tips, whatever it might be. And um, and this is before the new year began. And I like to always come up with a theme for my new year. But this time I wanted something more than a theme. I said, I really want a philosophy to live by.
Mhm.
And then it hit me. I said, you know what? What if I can take that to the next level? What if I can go deeper? Because in this game we live, ladies and gentlemen, there's levels to this game, but there's also layers. So Levels, but beneath the surface, Layers, 5 letters. But I like to go deeper. And that's where the gold is at. When we dig deep, that is where the true meaning and purpose is at. So I want to go deeper. So soon I said, you know what? I want a philosophy to live by. But because I'm a practical guy and like to implement, I said, how can I make this better? I said, you know what? Let's go from philosophy to principle. Give me a principle to live by. And then I said, you know what? Let's go a little bit deeper. I want something practical to live by. So the be, do, and give is more than a philosophy. The be is the philosophy, the do is the principle, and the give is the practicality. So when I say be, remember the first 2 letters of believe is be. And that means believe more in yourself, be more who you are, be your essence, your being, because you was put here on this earth for a specific reason at this specific time in human history. And who are you going to be? Because that's the beginning of everything. And then once you be, it's easy to do. And do means take action. Remember, it's more, you got to more than just believe, you got to take action. You got to support that belief with action. And as you take action, you're going to get results. And those results should be able to help other people. So you go out and give. And what are you going to be giving? You're going to be giving value. So my whole philosophy, principle, practicality of living now, and I'm going to hold on to this for the rest of my life, is be more in 2024, do more in 2024, and give more in 2024. And so this be, do, give, that's to be my thing for me and for anyone else that want to adopt it. That's the thing I'm going to kind of build everything around, because every single day you should be becoming more. You should be becoming more so that you can do more and help more people and give more
And that's
value.
investing in yourself so that you can invest in others, you know. And I truly believe that the future of education is changing. It has changed and it's continuing to change. It's continuing to evolve. It's continuing to change. And more opportunities are really rising up each and every single day. And I think that there's going to be huge opportunity leaning forward for us as entrepreneurs to really kind of be a part of that education space, because I really believe that, and this is a very powerful opinion that I have, and I think that not only is the future of education, but traditional education is in trouble. And
Amen.
I think that eventually entrepreneurs are going to take over if we figure out the number one element that's going to make the difference between what traditional education does and what we potentially could provide as well too.
I
I
love it.
think it's accreditation. And I think that that's one of the opportunities that entrepreneurs are really leaving out on the table, because we can create a course, we can write a book, we can do, you know, training and coaching and teaching and all this stuff. But I've only seen a very small handful. Jay Shetty, I know, is one of them that has courses that are accredited. John Maxwell, Kirkpatrick level, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
certification, for example. And I have a Kirkpatrick certification, but not a whole lot of people know about it. And it's one
And
of those things that I think that as we learn, as we develop, as we grow, I think the more that we can tie what we're doing to a certification, we can change the future of education and be a major part of that.
yeah, and I also think John Maxwell has
John Maxwell as well too. So he has the Maxwell leadership sort of, and that's becoming an industry standard. So when you say that I am a Maxwell certified, whatever that may be, that means something in certain, not everywhere. It doesn't mean something everywhere because people just don't know what they don't know. It's like having a business degree. Like I have a business degree. I have a bachelor's degree. I have several certifications. I mean, I can dive down the rabbit hole of all kinds of certifications that I have and things that I've done over the years. But look, it's one of those things to where I think that if you really want to establish yourself and then you want to differentiate yourself and set yourself apart, you must continue to invest in yourself so that you can invest in others. And I think that there's a lot to unpack with that because there's a lot of stuff that's out there, but where is the real value? And I think it's in certifications, and and I think that you need to start with accreditation in order to get to those certifications. What are your thoughts?
100%. Because listen, many people know I'm a certified confidence coach, and there was people that was telling me, or well, thank God I didn't listen, but it was after the fact. They would say, "Oh man, you don't need to be certified to coach," and I think, "Oh yes, you do. Yes, you do." Here's the reason why. If you're serious about what you do, certification tests you. It tests your mettle. There's homework. There's there's disciplines. There's practices. There's performances. There's things you have to do to measure up. And if you really are as good as you say you want to be, then why not put yourself in front of a board? Put yourself in front of people that can grade you on your tests and your methodologies and things such as that, because you don't know it all. And it's good to go get the wisdom and the experience and the knowledge of people who've gone before you, and they put it in a structured format. It's no different than, why does doctors have to pass a board? If you're going to become a CPA, a certified public accountant, you follow me? You can go, the people who are serious about what they do, they get licensed, they get certified, they go through the steps and the rituals of going to the next level. And it does make a difference. It makes a big difference. So I'm a big believer in certification because it shows a level of dedication. It shows a level of seriousness. It shows a level of commitment. And it shows a level of, here's a big word for you guys, competence. Mm-hmm. And that means a lot to me. So that's one of the reasons I got certified. Not only did I get certified in coaching during the pandemic, some of my clients was going through loss. They was going through grief. They was going through, it was so many different, it varied from the dog passing away that they had for like 15, 20 years to a major breakup, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, to experiencing COVID or a loved one experiencing COVID, and the grief just kind of overwhelmed them. And I did my best. Like, I'm going to guide you through this. I'm going to give you that Zan man energy. And it was working, but it wasn't working enough. If I wanted to give them more value, I said, I need to become more valuable. So I went back and I got certified in CBT. Now, some of you guys may or may not know what that is. CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. And it's one of the best tools out there to help people get out of depression and with their anxiety and things they're going through. And I want to get real good at that. I got good at that. I was able to help a lot of my clients that coaching doesn't do. Coaching is a different set of techniques and tools and methodologies and strategies than therapy. Mm-hmm. And cognitive behavioral therapy deals with the language and the behavior of the individual and helps heal them from the inside out. Mm-hmm. Coaching is more of taking action, getting things done. And some people confuse the two, but I'm telling you, they have different dynamics, different energy, different techniques and strategies and backgrounds. Therapy is not coaching and coaching is not therapy. There could be some overlap, but it's a difference. And I'll give you one quick example since we're still in the NFL season. If a player goes out there and you got the coach, all right, run this play, catch this ball, running. Okay, great. He's coaching. They're on the field. But if that player gets hurt, have to go into concussion protocol, that's therapy. They need to get healed before they go back on the field. I can't coach you when you're in therapy. We need to heal you first before we can put you back on the field and coach you. So if you think about that dynamic, if you're hurt and you need to be healed, you can't even be coached right now. We need to heal you first. So cognitive behavior therapy and coaching, certified coaching, is two different animals, but at the same time they're connected. Because even while the person's going through therapy, you might still need to go there and inspire them and encourage them and get the experience of them. Let them know, hey, you coming back. When you come back, we're gonna do X, Y, Z. Give them that vision that we can make it. But they need to heal first.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that there's not, I won't say saturation out there in the market when it comes to like healing. I just think that there's a misuse of terminology when it comes to healing out there.
Can I inject? There's a
Uh-huh.
reason behind that. And I don't get too much of this because I don't and I'm a diplomatic guy. I don't like to, I don't like enemies and stuff, but there's enough people that's gonna hate because that's just how they are. But the reason why they misconstrue or they confuse the marketplace is because they can make more money coaching. So they market themselves as coaches when they're therapists.
Hmm.
And because people don't know the difference or don't have the training in the background, they fall for it. Oh, they're really counselors, but they're not coaches, but they tell you, oh, I'm like, dude, that's not coaching. That's counseling. That's therapy.
Yeah.
That's not moving the needle forward. You're not gonna, like you said earlier, you said something earlier that was very profound. You says, people know what to do, but they don't do what they know. There's a bridge from what you know to do to over here to doing what you know. That bridge is coaching. Coaching
Mhm.
gets you to take action to do what you know.
Mhm.
Therapy keeps you stuck over here
You
and
know,
keeps you in the past. Coaching helps you move into your future.
I think that a lot of people get the words confused, coach, teach, trainer, mentor, whatever the case may be. For me, I like leader.
Mhm.
I'm a leader at what it is that I do, and I want to teach and grow other leaders as well too, or at least
Mhm.
I want to give them the techniques, the tips, tools, techniques, and resources to be the leader they are meant to be and that others deserve. And I think
Yep.
that, language is really important. The language that we use is important, whether it's internal, whether it's external. The things that we say to ourselves and the things that we say to others really matter.
Mm.
Have you ever found yourself in a moment to where you said something that was just totally like misconstrued, misunderstood, taken out of context? If you don't want to share anything, like I get it, but
100%, man. It's part of being a human. Are you kidding me? 100%. And you're never going to be able to get away from that.
Mhm.
But what you can do, and this is what I do, especially if I'm one-on-one with a client or with a small group of people, and I'm teaching, because teaching is different than coaching. But there's a connection, there's an overlap there. But what I do is when I'm teaching, I define my words and I define the context of what I'm saying because in America, you can say one word and that one word has three or four different meanings, but it's the same word, you know. And um, for clarification and understanding and comprehension, it's very important to define things so there's no misunderstanding or no. And if the person just chooses to misunderstand, then they have a different agenda, and I can't help people like that because they have a different agenda. But also what I do when it comes to communication, and we try to get something done or achieve a goal, I would explain it, define it, explain it, and then I ask you, um, what did I tell you? I mean, what give me what you took out. Give me your takeaway. Give me your three things. And if it matches up, we're in harmony. If it's not, no, 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 no. Number two, that's not what I meant. I meant it this way. Oh, okay. Oh, I wasn't thinking that. Because sometimes, and this is the truth, there's some people who have poor listening skills. There's some people who have poor comprehension skills. And so, as the speaker, it is my job to make sure you understand exactly what I'm saying, the way I'm saying it, and what I mean by what I'm saying. And not because people will just assume because people have not, it's not even so much that people have different levels of education, but people have different backgrounds and different experiences. So you can say one word to them and they hear something different in their head. And here's a part that's kind of touching, but this is what I do. You don't know what medications they might be on. You don't know what personality disorders they may have. You don't know if they're bipolar, if they're borderline, if they're histrionic, narcissistic. You don't know. And so they're going to filter all that through that and mishear you. So it's my job to make sure you don't mishear me. Now, if you purposely want to do something different, okay, then I know you want some other stuff. And then we're going to have to go ahead and make a different decision on our involvement.
I love that. So I'm a certified master resiliency trainer. And I remember going to school for that. And it was one of those things to where one of the biggest things that we taught was real-time resilience.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the methodologies within that course is real-time resilience. And I think that feedback is important.
Yeah.
Asking the right questions is important, not necessarily jumping to premature conclusions or diagnosis. I think a lot of times people are looking for a diagnosis, and I don't want to dive down a rabbit hole. This is not a therapy session, everybody, but
people need to hear what you're saying, though. What you're saying is
slightly sidetracked here from the business conversation to something else. But look, I think it's important. Hey, here's the thing. I think body language is truly important as well, too. And one of the things, Zan, that I notice about you, because I pay very close attention to like not only what you say, but how you say it as well, too. And when you're really trying to hammer home a point, you'll slow down and you will enunciate. You will say word for word. You will say things. But then you get to the points to where you're excited.
That comes from years of having too much energy and speaking so fast and slurring my words and people misunderstanding. So, Zan, if you really want to get your point across and make your impact, slow down and enunciate. You can do this. You don't have to.
But I see entrepreneurs that get it wrong. Like I'm not going to name any names, but I have somebody that I was a part of their program and this, that, and the other. I swear to goodness, like, dude, it was like drinking from a fire hydrant. This guy threw so much crap at me, and I was like, oh my goodness, I just got hit in the face with some of that, and I got hit in the eyeball with some of that, and it was like, oh my goodness, like it was just so much, so fast. Like I didn't know what to do with it. It was just I felt like I was just stunned with like way too much information overload, and I had nothing that I could take action on. So I kind of want to peel back that onion right there, because I think that a lot of times entrepreneurs, businesses, they just want to blast their system out, their framework, their ideas, their things, their this, their that, the other. But you don't know what other people are going through and the types of learners that they are, because we have different types of learners. And if
right there, can you pause right there and delve a little bit deeper into that, the different types of learners?
Yeah,
because that determines how to get your lessons.
Exactly. So I'm going to do the simplified version of it, because there's a lot of terms that are out there that we could like kinesthetic, for example, saying
auditory.
There's a lot of big words that we could dive into. But look, simply put, you're either an audio learner, a visual learner. You learn by text, you learn by reading, you learn by reading out loud, you learn by reading. Visual learners, you learn by touching, doing, seeing other people, observing. So there's a lot of different ways in which you can learn. And I think that once you understand the type of learner somebody is, you can really help that person out. But if you don't know what type of learner they are, you as a coach, teach, trainer, mentor, leader, entrepreneur, whatever label you want to put on it, you are not going to be able to help that person out if you don't know what type of learner they are.
And this is why what you said earlier is so important, feedback. So I would teach auditory for the listener. I would teach the kinesthetic, the physical, and I would teach the visual, and then also you could teach by experience. But based on the feedback they give you, now you know this person gets it this way. It's not wrong or right, just like love languages. You can't judge it. But as a teacher, as a coach, your job is to deliver to them the way they best can receive it. Not how you want to. This is the beautiful thing about coaching. It's not about you. It's about them. It's about you serving them and giving them value. And that is the way they receive it. And your job is to make sure you deliver it in such a way that they can receive it. So this could be a transformation.
And what are the signs to look for when there's a disconnect?
There you go. You just named it earlier. Body language, communication. If I say, pretty soon I'm going to give you the customer journey to bring us back around. But this is necessary, because I always say that business equals relationships. So when you're in business, you're dealing with people, and this stuff comes up all the time. And if you don't know how to deal with that and navigate that, then you can end that relationship. You can end that business connection. So everything that we say that we're talking about, we didn't veer away. It's all connected because you're dealing with people, you're dealing with emotions, you're dealing with communication, you're dealing with miscommunications, you're dealing with people who promise one thing, break the promises. But that's why it's good to have what we call feedback and follow-up. Feedback and follow-up. And you ask them. I've got past clients that got through my programs. And once in a while, I sent up, I had a client from a month ago in December, like early December, and those sessions have ended a month ago. I sent them a text this morning. Hey, just want to check on you and see how you're doing, see how you're progressing. They're no longer my client, but I'm still checking on them. What does that say? It says like I do care, but I'm doing follow-up.
Mhm.
If they need something, I might say, let's get on a 30-minute call so we can get you back on track. Because sometimes people lose focus. Sometimes life happens, distractions, drama. Come on, man. So my job is to get them back on track or help if they're going in the right direction. And maybe I can give them another step or strategy to get there quicker or to help get them, upgrade them. So that momentum makes a big difference. So for me, I find out through communication. Talk to people. Feedback, follow up makes a big difference.
Yeah, I love that. At the end of that, nobody really cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
Absolutely.
And I remember being a counselor years ago, and I used to sit down and get personal with people, and you have to be able to leave that door open, so to speak, because the moment that you really start, lashing out, giving advice that they don't agree with, you start getting argumentative. There's a lot of different ways to unpack that. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that the moment that you shut down that communication bridge, that's it. You've lost that customer, you've lost that client. You touched on that just very briefly there. And I think that,
But you said something earlier too, in the very beginning. If you guys go rewind this, he said something about no like and trust. So if you build that no like and trust, the client trusts you, you trust them. So now it's easier. It's easier. They like you. They know you. It's easier to communicate with them, and they're going to respond back right away. That's why it's what Terry was saying earlier about that foundation. When you are building a relationship, it's a process, and you don't just jump to like, hey, let's get married. It's like, no, let me get to know your name first. Let me get to know you. And then as I get to know you, either I like you or I don't like you. And if I like you, eventually I may trust you. And then eventually they leave this out because it's business, but there's another level. Know, like, trust, love, LOVE. Because you can't love someone you don't trust.
I love that, Zan. And you're one of the, like, I don't know, probably 5 people in my inner circle that I can reach out and text, and and you'll respond and everything. And I love that, man. I think that whenever you can provide a quality of service to people, or at least a friendship, because I think that I think there's lines that you need to draw within the sand of, like, I'm not like, I'm friendly, but I'm not your friend, kind of a thing. And I
Hmm?
used to say that a lot. I used to say that a lot when I was in the military, and I still kind of agree to it to a certain extent. I'm friendly, but I'm not your friend. Keep in mind that I'm here to provide a service, and I'm going to provide that service, whatever that looks like. That's really upon you as the customer, as the client, and I have the knowledge, the skills, the experience to navigate that accordingly. And I
Hmm.
think that a lot of times people try to, you get coaches that try to force things, they try to force high value, high stakes sales tactics and strategies and this, that, and the other. And I think that really destroys the market. I think it destroys people's mindsets. I think it gives, a bad taste in people's mouth on, like,
That
entrepreneurship and sales. And
can I say something, Terry? You know where that comes from? Lack of confidence. That's fear.
yeah.
It comes from a place of not having good, not being socially competent, not having good communication skills. But in there, it comes from lack of confidence. Because when you're confident, you ain't got to be aggressive. You ain't got to force anyone on anything. And when you're serving, knowing that you can give them value that's going to change their life, your job is to get them to see that value,
Mhm.
and then let them choose Let them choose. And if you do that enough times, you're going to be okay. There's no need to, and I know what you said, the high pressure marketing tactics people use out there, and I get away from them because that shows a lot about their personality. And I don't. Do you want to be involved with someone like that? I don't want that kind of energy around me. I don't want that kind of energy. It's no different than, and this is again, business equals relationship. How do women feel when a man is trying to force a kiss on her and she's not ready yet? That's what it's like. No one wants that. It should be an easy flow where it's mutually beneficial for both parties. But those are some old school tactics that they used back in the day, back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, even the 80s, because they really was conning people. They didn't have your best interest at heart. And ladies and gentlemen, if someone doesn't have your best interest at heart, there's that little voice telling you that. Leave them alone. Because there's other people now in the marketplace, because we live in a global economy now, there's other people out there that have your best interest, that you resonate with, that you feel, that you connect with. And that's going to lead to the customer journey. And I can share that whenever you're ready. But whenever you're
Go
ready.
ahead.
Well, okay. So let's start with P's, the letter P. Earlier, I said monetize your passion. What do you mean, Zan? Is there a journey for that? Is there a process for that? There is. There's a system for that. And the first is your passion. Everyone has a passion. You know what it is. It's there. And there's a whole process we can help you to uncover that. But most times when people come to me, they already know their passion. So my job then becomes, the next P is turn that passion into a product. Now we can get you paid. So we turn that passion into product. Who are you going to market that product to? Your peoples, not people, your peoples. Your peoples are people who feel you, who know you, who vibe with you. Those are your peoples. You know what I mean? It's like, those are my people. That's kind of street language, but that's okay. You get my point.
That's my
Not
peeps
just
right there.
anybody out there, not just any people, your peoples. Okay, and they get you and you get them. And that product is going to solve your people's problem. Now, what you also have to do to reach more of your people's, the next P is promotion. You have to promote it. Or like what we're doing here, you gotta get on different platforms. Sometimes I call it OPP, other people's platforms. So you have to get on other people's platforms because you got to promote it. So passion into a product, you got to go out, your product is for your peoples, because you're solving their specific problem. And then you're going to promote it. And then the last P, you make profits, baby. Let's go.
I love it. Zan, I always appreciate talking with you, man. We're going to go ahead and wind things down here. But before we do, I want you to share one golden nugget. Like if you had, like, here's the most powerful thing that I can share with people out there that struggle here today. What would one golden nugget be?
Can I give them 10?
Go ahead.
All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, you got, this is good because I'll just give you one. Come on, man. It's 2024. I would just give you 4, but I want to give you more than 4. All right, this is very simple, to the point. Write this down. You can live your life by it because I kind of live my life by it too. So, one of my family members asked me, much younger than I am, my little niece, asked me to give some advice to her son. And like, what would you have done? What advice would you give to the old Zan way back in the day when he was young growing up? And I thought about it. I said, okay, I can come up with 3 things, but I wouldn't meditate it. I said, I want to take this serious. I wouldn't meditate it. And I came up, and this applies to everybody. My top 10 tips for success. Top 10 tips for success. Number 1, meditate and visualize. Number 2, exercise and exercise. Exercise means that inner conversation you're having with yourself, those affirmations, you're controlling your thoughts, you're being positive within yourself, that attaches itself to your self-identity. So exercise, like you exercise the body, but you exercise in the mind. inner size. And I got the word inner size from John Assaraf. Great guy. Okay, number 3, set smart goals. SMART. You guys know what that means, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound goals. Number 4, keep a schedule. Build your whole life around your schedule, or you get out here and get distracted and be all over the place. Number 5, now I got to explain this one. Focus, capital FOCUS, your ATM, capital ATM. ATM is attention, time, money. Everybody wants your attention. When they get your attention, they get your time. And they get your time, time is money. They're gonna get your money. But focus, your attention, time, and money. Focus, FOCUS. When you set your SMART goal, set your schedule, commit yourself to that. So focus stands for follow one commitment until successful. So focus your ATM. Number 6, build your confidence. Number 7, build your competence. Confidence is more mindset and skill set. Competence is skills, and skills pay the bills. Okay. Number 8, hire a coach, because you can't do this by yourself, baby. You're going to need a coach to help you through all of this stuff. Number 9, join a community, because you'll need other like-minded people around you to support you and be there for you. And number 10, monetize your passion. Because the number one reason why people are not happy in life, they're making money, but they're not doing what they love. And when you do what you love, you have success, you have happiness, you have peace, you have joy. Passion is everything. Do what you love and make money doing it, and that's what we're all about. Let's go.
I love that. Zan, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk with me here. So I know you have some current projects that you're working on. You got your book club, you got your website. Tell us a little bit about what you're working on and how can people best connect with you?
Yeah, man. The number one way it's two best ways to connect with me. One is just go to zantheman.com, ZANTHEMAN.com. And number 2 is you can DM me on Instagram at Zan the Man Smith. So ZANTHEMANSMITH. That's the best 2 ways to get in contact with me.
I love it. We'll have all those links in the description on this video and all the platforms that we share here. Zan, thank you so much for joining me here today.
It's been great, man. Thank you so much, Terry. You are an amazing person, amazing podcast. I loved every single minute of it. And guys, share the podcast out there. You know, if you take 1 or 2 nuggets, repost that. Like, hey, I learned this watching Terry's podcast. And then give some feedback. Let us know if you guys want us to do this again, because I would be honored. I would be thrilled to come back and do this again and serve you guys in any kind of way I can. Let's go.
I love that. In closing, if you want to achieve success within 2024, you must build a business. And Zan the Man is absolutely the man that's going to help you grow your business, scale your business, build the business not only of your dreams and help you become the leader that you need to be, but the leader that other people deserve. Get connected with Zan the Man over at zantheman.com, and we will see you in the next episode.